Let's start with how skibidists came into our world in the first place, and who was the first skibidist. The author of Skibidist on his channel has a video called Every Nightmare. There, the character finds himself in a strange place that is darkness, and many elevators floating in it. The best decision the character could have made was to start doing the needle.
And the PC just right there.
As he starts to urinate, the protagonist hears the very speech of the skibidivers. You can see by the look on his face that he made a mistake and he can't pee here. And that's what happens next. Of course, you can say that everything that happens is his terrible dream, but in fact, this is the crossroads of universes in which the character finds himself. You can be sure of that when you see what characters live in the elevators flying by. Here, for example, we see Aladdin. The elevator flying by gets hit by the jet of our main character, which contains a skibidist. Then the skibidist, offended by such a stupid action of our character, decides to attack him. Thus, the skibidist emerges from the crossroads of worlds into our protagonist's normal world and begins to take revenge on all the humanity that resides there, at the same time as punishment, taking over the hero's body and dressing him in a toilet. Now, the protagonist can only return to his world through the toilet, spreading the virus further. We see this in the first episode. Everyone who meets him and to whom he begins to sing turn into the same skibidivers. He is the first infected person in our world, so everyone idolizes him, and they erect a monument to him. In the second episode, we see the first infected from our first skibidist, and in the third episode, the skibidists start a full-scale war against humanity, invading the big city, Gary's Mod universe. At first, people don't pay much attention to it and think it's some kind of toilet show. But the third episode sees a giant skibidist run over a human toilet, and the songs they sing are nothing more than an attempt to get into their brains and make them like a skibidist. So in Series 4, we see the humans take quarantine measures, and in the restaurant they sit on their toilets that they brought from home so that no new skibidistas will come from there. That was their second major mistake. It's the easiest way to get infected through the toilet. We see that this is true when the first skibidist leader shows up at a restaurant and starts singing a song. The first season ends. But where did the skibidists come from after all? After all, somehow, they got caught in the crossroads of universes, just like our protagonist. I haven't figured it out completely yet, but the author has separate spin-offs that have nothing to do with the Skibidi toilet plot. This universe has similar features to our reality and has the same problems as us. But at some point, there appear toilet Skibidi toilet presidents and begin to seize power. But where are the cameramen who have to fight the agents? Simple. This is not our universe. This is a universe that has been completely taken over by the skibidists, and they do what they want in it. They build walls, destroy everything around them, and set their own rules. It's not clear yet if this is their home universe or just another universe they've taken over. But one thing is clear. There are no cameramen agents in this universe, and that's why the skibidists have taken it over so easily. And they do whatever they want to do in it. And it was from this universe that the first human being was infected by a skibidist. At the end of episode 4, all the skibidists look at our character very strangely. And that leads us to a new theory that our character was a Ghent with the camera, which is confirmed in episode 7. When the character goes to the toilets, we can clearly see in the reflection the silhouette of a camera instead of a head. And in the next episode, we are officially introduced to the agent. Also in this series, when the main character skibidist flushes it down the toilet, we see a hand in gloves and tuxedo, which all agents are wearing. So why would a skibidist infect a human and enter his universe? Was this a fatal mistake by the human who peed in the cross-universe, or was it a clearly planned plan by the cameramen to make contact with the skibidist through humans and start a full-scale war with them? One thing is clear so far. The war between the skibidists and the cameramen agents is taking place on human territory, and who will win is unclear. Conclusion: don't pee in cross-universes.